problem, Jacob, I wasn't sure if this was a problem you needed help with, but it was included in your email. So I'll be happy to go over this as well. It says use the figures 8 and 9, and we are told this. We are told that HL, IM, and JK are all medians, which means they're all midpoints. So that's the midpoint, that's the midpoint, that's the midpoint, which would make point N, of course, a centroid. Now, rather than focusing on these questions here, what I'd like to do is basically just go through the idea of finding everything that we can find from the given information. So we know first that we have a 2-to-1 ratio here. If this is 6, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so that would make that, of course, half, which is 3. And then here, if this is 2.5, that's half of whatever this is, so that, of course, is 5. And we see that HL is also a right triangle. So we try to see what right triangles we can work with. So let's check out all the different right triangles here. There's one right triangle, but all we have is that length from here to here, of course, which is 9. We have no other side length, so we can't use that one. Try another one. This here is a right triangle, of course, and lo and behold, we have 2 sides, which means we can easily get a third side. There's your right angle. Let's call that x. So we can go 3 squared plus x squared equals 5 squared. X squared equals 5 squared minus 3 squared. To solve for x, we end up square rooting both sides. So x is going to equal the square root of, that's 25 minus 9, which ends up being the square root of 16, which of course is 4. So we see here that this is 4. And if this is 4, we know that that's a median as well, which makes that 4. Which means over here, since these two are equal, this must also be a 3, 4, 5, which makes this 2.5 over here. And so our goal is to find what we can find here, and it says in problem 8 to find the area of the triangle. Well, we know area of a triangle is the base times the height over 2. In this case, our base, we're going to use this as our base. Why? Because we only have one right angle that we have to work with, and that makes this our height, the whole thing. So our base here is going to be 8, and our height is 6 plus 3, so that's going to be 9 divided by 2. That's 36. Let's check for units. Our units are meters, so it's meters squared. It says if the perimeter of the triangle is 49, then find the length of MH. So we want to find the length of MH ultimately, knowing that the perimeter is 49. Okay, so let me pull pull this triangle out so it's a little bit easier to see. So here we have I, we have H, we have J, and since our altitude is also a median, this first altitude, since it's also a median, that forces these to be equal. That makes an isosceles triangle. I wanted to draw it separate so you can see that pulled out. We're being told that the measure all the way around is 49. So here we already have this length as 8. So we're going to do 49 minus 8, and of course we get 41. That means these two sides together, I'll make them in purple, have to add up to 41. So we add 41, we're going to divide by 2. And of course we get 20.5. So this whole side here is 20.5, and we're being asked to find MH. So of course, if you have $20.50, and you just want to divide by 2, you have $10.25, so 10.25.